Welcome to Canada. This is what our cities look like. When I mention to another Canadian that our cities are hideously ugly, most people are either insulted or they just think that I'm a weirdo for even noticing. At least if they're insulted, you know that they see their environment as an extension of themselves, as one should, and hence why they take my criticism of their surroundings personally. But it's not meant as a personal insult, it's just an objective observation of a space that we both share. Our standards are so far gone that most people will defend this ugliness, perhaps because the external has been made internal, who knows, but most often there's just a casual, things just are the way they are. And why do you care? And what are you going to do about it? Well, I have a lot of ideas. I have a few, for sure. And but until then, I'm going to make this video and just hope that people share it. So first we need a little bit of context. It's difficult to have a conversation with somebody about art and beauty when they've been drowning in a type of architecture called brutalism. That's right, it's called brutalism, the stuff that we see everywhere. Brutalism, that's their name for it. Stripped of anything decorative or meaningful, this architecture is favored by postmoderns and communists as a weapon against the people. The purpose of its construction is to foster alienation and atomization, and it really works. It works really well. It's very effective. This architecture is an expression of open hatred against humanity, and classical European architecture, whose purpose was to elevate the soul, is the primary victim of it. A key argument against building something beautiful is that it's simply too expensive. That's the thing. It's just, oh, well, we can't do this. It's too much money. It's too expensive. Oh, imagine how much that cost. But the thing is that beauty pays for itself in countless ways, including financial. The endless, hideous third world strip malls of Canada are on nobody's must-see bucket list. Considering how we now have modern materials and construction methods, even 3D scanning and printing of industrial materials, there's no excuse to not choose the beautiful option. Inevitably, I'm told that Canada, like America, is just simply too young for grand, beautiful architecture, and that somehow, given enough time and enough immigration, Walmart will transform into something meaningful and transcendent. But here's the catch, and here's the crux of this video. We did have incredible, epic architecture similar to what one sees in areas of the old world that are still European, and almost all of it has been systematically, intentionally destroyed. Let's just step back and look at Toronto. Like nearly every single major city in the New World, in the late 1800s, Toronto suffered a devastating fire that destroyed most of it. Every major city had one of these fires. Every one, from Buffalo to Vancouver to New York to Toronto. You may think that Europe was the only part of the world leveled by the Rothschilds' banking cartel, but you'd be wrong. Even after the World Wars, they're not done. After World War II, mayors like Nathan Phillips, who it says here is to be remembered as Toronto's first Jewish mayor, he should actually be remembered that under his direction, the city of Toronto pursued an aggressive agenda of demolishing heritage structures throughout the city in order to modernize. Large blocks of downtown were purchased and razed, and many landmark buildings and neighborhoods were destroyed. From what I can see in my own research that I've done on this, it's over 200 buildings, 200 glorious buildings like this that were destroyed. This happened across the continent. Every major city was razed to the ground. We're only left with fragments of what was. I'm going to sit back now and just leave you with a presentation of architecture from the New World. Most of these structures have been deliberately destroyed or scrubbed into the memory hole. Most are parking lots or strip malls, or they've erected triumphant, disturbing monoliths in their place. Some remain, like the Banff Springs Hotel, and I suggest you visit these places to get a sense of just what's possible. And in Europe, in the future, a crazy lunatic will look at a building and say, this used to be beautiful, before being reported for hate speech. Luckily, destroying buildings can work both ways, and nobody will mourn the loss of what we have now.